Happy coffee day. Listen. I'm so not in the mood to do this again. This is becoming a regular discipline. Okay. Well, the only reason why I don't want to do this right now is because I'm very much into the game I'm playing. I mean, I've survived 20 days in the dark, wintry wonderland. Well, frozen wasteland. And I'm having so much fun with it. I shot a wolf and I want to go running after it. I gotta find it. And the other day I killed a deer and I still haven't found my dead deer. So, I got this idea that they're just around the bend. Only thing is, it's been snowing for the last 3 days of my game and my visibility's been terrible. So, very, very anxious to go find my wolf and my deer so that I can and so that I can get a wolf coat, so that I can be warm and cozy. Oh my gosh. So I'm totally into that. That's not what you came here for, but if you would have seen the ritualized sit down, cough, get my stomach straight, get the coffee, oh my god, I couldn't even brew a fresh pot because I had a pot of coffee and I drank it, but I was playing. This is the last cup, and it's a weak cup. It's mostly hot chocolate, and I'm not going to brew another coffee. So I said, okay, maybe I'll just wait till later and we'll get a night shot, and I can make it a thing. We do a morning Zen show on the first day of the weekend, and on the next day of the weekend, we do an evening Zen show. That's what we're going to call it, man. The Zen show. Or it's not what it's going to be called. I don't even know what I'm going to call this one. But I do have a range of ideas to topic about spirituality, awakening, what we do with our insights. But I'm not sure if any of the teachings that I'm going to desire to find are going to support what I have to say, which is kind of like a little challenge, isn't it? There's only one standard, right? In my book, that's a standard. There's a standard. But I kind of think that I'm going to tug on Mr. Yuan Wu's little coat for the support. But hey, we're not even there yet. After my daughter had called and we had conversed, my ex-husband called. I was like, oh no, she's got it all wrong. I'm like, what? She got it all wrong. She couldn't remember nothing like that. And I said she could have. She could have. It was strong. It hurt both of us. I found part of myself asking, come on, my God, I'm so sure that you've told her the story before and she's remembering that and reliving it. But isn't that just a way to minimize? Because the fact is, I cry when I tell the story to strangers, and I have never gotten over it. And then I cried with her I may have told her before, but she didn't cry with me. This was a real experience. And not that I'm necessarily looking forward to more. I am. I'm the kind of person that says, ooh, you got an emotional scar there? Let's pick at it. Let's pry it up and look at it. Come on. Why am I like that? I'm relentless about purifying my mind. It's always been a thing I wanted to do. I mean, hell, when part of you is told of how weak-minded you are, you try to find ways to make yourself a fortress. And I did. I made myself a fortress. I did it through religion, but it doesn't take long for me to go all in something and study it up and learn what it's got to say, and then slowly doubt it, or and at the same time I try to achieve it, whatever it is that it's preaching. So when I've been through quite a few religions, and I always used to get serenaded by the spiritual guru talk, but now, oh, it turns my stomach. It turns my stomach because most of it is trying to tell you what a thing is, or tell you to have faith in another person to get you there. Anyway, I think I totally lost the plot. But at the same time, whatever wisdom that the fake guru is using to lure you in, to give him your total worship and obedience, he can use a real wisdom to do it. You learn something, and it ting 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 ping 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 ping, and you have a little happy learning session in your mind, much like my daughter did before, when she realized and felt and processed uncovery of that memory. It still is going to take more processing, and right away she's on 5 other branches of, I'm going to track this pain down, and I'm going to figure out the root of that cause. And this is like walking on ice, like in my game. I can't say it's not good to dig into your roots and your causes, but I also say to be very cautious because of the pain involved. And I'm a little bit concerned, so maybe she'll hate me. Okay, we get what we deserve on one hand, and on another hand, she has her own delusion that will sustain her however she needs to, I guess. But I don't think she's going to hate me. She's never been a hateful person. And I don't know what she does with her resentment. Well, actually, I do know what she does with her resentment. And when she starts dealing with it, I'm pretty sure that she's going to have a lot of it. And there are a lot of mistakes that we make as parents and as humans. So I want her to keep in her memory the fact that she's no different. She has her flaws, and she has her realization, her rationalizations, and she can blame if she wants, but it's not the healthiest way. wanted to raise my children wise and conscientious, self-observing, and correcting. I didn't do so well because I was at the time still trying to figure out what's right and wrong. I was still on my spiritual journey, and it was bad. Not bad, just tumultuous. And I didn't ever try to be religious on my kids. There was this one time I wanted to, I guess we're going to call this one story time. Whatever. There was this one time when I got reconverted back to Christianity and wanted to take them to church. And I started reading, so I want to get the Bible in their heads, for framework. And so I started reading the Psalms and the Proverbs. And I'm reading the Psalms, and then the first 5 of them. And it's sickening me, I can't see myself praying to God to give me vengeance over my enemies. I would like to see God bring my enemies' plans to failure. This I would pray. But I wouldn't ask him to destroy them. So these Psalms, they didn't actually, it just didn't seem like good spiritual lessons. And then the Proverbs weren't so bad. So, but I didn't continue that path of reading the Bible to them. And my daughter, she stayed really active. Not active, but she went to church, and I think she went to church because it was a way out of her home. And blah, blah, blah. I too escaped to the church to get away from my parents. I'm often consumed with the fantasy of if I could live my life over again, what would I do different? And I play with all kinds of differences, different choices. I'm starting to lose that fantasy. I'm just starting to get disconnected from it. Okay, again, neither here nor there. Folks, I guess I don't have anything to talk about. So I guess this was just random memories. And I'm pretty sure the semesters aren't going to support that. Let's find out if they'll support it. Want me to cheat? I have to cheat. That didn't make no sense. This just didn't make any sense. Wow. Considering that nothing's making sense, I guess that means that this is not a Zen video. This is a personal video. Oh. So she had an awareness. She had an insight. And she might go on to blame and hate. But she didn't. Not this time. Because she realizes that she herself is human. Also, when we have these grand spiritual mystical insights, sort of back on track, then what happens is that we really think that they'll last forever. You know, we'll think that the glory glow, if you're, what all that's mystical woo, we think that it goes on forever, that it marks a change in your entire future. And we build a lot of delusion, again, on ourselves when the shine wears off. And then, for some people, the shine can be too much. And though they lose the glory of it, they also lose their identity in it. So, for somebody who, let's suppose this trap shows up in my daughter's life, because of the pain, her identity with her emotions surrounding it, blah blah blah, she may choose to do complete 180 of what I've done. She may drive herself crazy with attentiveness and be a helicopter parent, which is just as terrible as being an emotionally absent parent. Or let's suppose she finds one of the ways that she's dealing with her resentment, and she decides to improve upon that drastically. Then she could go the very opposite direction and become unhealthy. So that's why I was trying to mention vigilance. Well, at any rate, this is not a Zen video. So we're just gonna give us a real no, we ain't gonna even do no Zen. I have no inspiration. How about a quote? Right, ready? Alright. Here we go. From Yuan Wu. Once you have attained the essential gist of the teaching, concentrate continuously so that there are no breaks or interruptions to enable the embryo of sagehood to grow and mature. Then even if you encounter bad conditions, you will be able to melt them away with true insight and the power of concentration, and fuse everything into one whole, so that great changes of birth and death will not be enough to disturb your heart. Nurturing your enlightenment over many years, you become a greatly liberated person who is free from contrived actions and obsessive concerns. Isn't this what it is to have accomplished what was to be done and complete the task of travel? Neato. Well, let's backtrack. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Alright. Well, we will do this one, and then I will shut it off. It's called Completing the Task, and it's the same one that I just read the end of. And it says, awakening on your own, without a teacher, before the primordial Buddha, you proceed straight to the transcendent realization on the same road as the 1,000 sages. You are able to let go and act freely, able to hold fast, and to be absolutely still, able to act the master. The whole appears before you in all of its completeness, without needing to be refined. It naturally becomes pure and right. When it comes to after the primordial Buddha, though you have your own independence, which you directly accept, to arrive at the stage where there is no doubt, you still should rely on a teacher to make sure, and to approve your enlightenment, and make you into a vessel of the teaching. Otherwise, there are sure to be demons who will malevolently ruin the correct basis. Remember about you fall to the side when you have your insight. You can fall this way or that way based on what you do with it. For this reason, Ever since the ancestral teachers, the apprentice receives and the teacher transmits, and the teacher's teachings is of utmost value. This is especially true with this matter, which is not something that can be comprehended by worldly intelligence or confined within the perception and knowledge. Unless you have a bold, fierce spirit of a person of power and manage to select a genuine enlightened teacher as your spiritual friend, how can you cut off the flow of birth and death and break out of the shell of ignorance? If you investigate and inquire diligently for a long time with single-minded concentration, the time of fruition will come. Suddenly, the bottom drops out of the bucket and you will empty out and awaken to enlightenment. After that, you can work wholeheartedly to weed out what is wrong and make sure of what's right, for experiential proof of your realization. Then it will naturally be like a boat going downstream. No need to work on rowing. This is the true meeting of teacher and disciple. Once you have attained the essential gist of the teaching, concentrate continuously so that there are no breaks or interruptions to enable the embryo of sagehood to grow and mature. Then, even if you encounter bad conditions, you will be able to melt them away with true insight and the power of concentration, and fuse everything into one whole, so that the great changes of birth and death will not be enough to disturb your heart. Nurturing your enlightenment over many years, you become a greatly liberated person who is free from contrived actions and obsessive concerns. Isn't this what it is to have accomplished what was to be done and completed the task of travel? Okay, yes. That ties it together if y'all are willing to mine it and look for it. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go find my dead wolf.